In this video, we are going to talk about target fixation motorcycle. So before starting this video, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for the future updates. You have probably seen this all too familiar scenario play out during a race, or even experienced it yourself. A rider crashes or rides off the track, and the following rider, seemingly mesmerized by the drama unfolding in front, follows the errant rider right off the track. The phenomenon is commonly referred to as target fixation and can be a huge problem for riders on the street just as much as on the racetrack. Target fixation is a panic reflex. When confronted with a dangerous situation or something unusual suddenly appearing in our field of vision, our natural instinct is to look directly at the object posing the threat and exclude everything else. Unable to look away and even consider an escape route, we tend to go where our eyes take us, often directly into the object. It could be a rider crashing in front of you, a patch of gravel on the road, or a car braking suddenly as you follow directly behind. You can guess how each scenario plays out when target fixation grabs hold. Of course, the objective in the first place should be to not get in a situation where target fixation even becomes an issue. But there are obviously situations out of your control that can't be avoided. What then? Avoiding target fixation is a matter of controlling your vision before and as you deal with a crisis and managing the panic that arises. Your vision and where you are looking is a critical part in avoiding panic altogether, as well as dealing with it when it does occur. As always, keep your eyes up when riding with your vision far down the road or track. On the track, especially, you should have a steady stream of reference points to determine your exact position, while on the street your gaze should be constantly searching for potential hazards. Coping with panic is a matter of having a plan for whatever situation arises and executing that plan in a calm manner. To use the earlier examples, if a rider were to crash in front of you at the track, the sliding bike and rider typically take a straight line trajectory off the track, and your plan would be to keep a tight line and continue inside. On a twisty road, you should always have some reserve so that if you do happen across a patch of gravel suddenly, you can straighten up and ride straight through the debris. And when following cars closely on the street, your plan may be to stay to the very edge of the lane to go around the car if needed. Part of executing your plan effectively is to look and focus on where you need to go rather than at the hazard that may be directly in front of you. Yelling inside your helmet, "Don't look at the car," by the very nature of the statement puts emphasis on the car rather than going around it. But as we explained a few issues back when dealing with bad habits, it's helpful to take a positive view of the situation rather than a negative. That means focusing on and looking for the path around the car, or around the bike on the track, or through the gravel on the road, rather than the hazard itself. And maybe yelling, "Go around," or "Look for the apex," inside your helmet instead. Your vision continues to play a key role here because while you do have to tear your eyes away from the danger to look where you want to go, you still need to know as much as you can about the hazard itself. Cars and crashing bikes move, and as the situation unfolds, your plan may have to adapt accordingly. Here you'll have to use your peripheral vision to take in the bulk of your surroundings and absorb as much information as you can without looking directly at the danger zone. We've discussed vision techniques previously, and you should be comfortable with scanning and peripheral vision in everyday riding so that you use them as a matter of course in a tricky situation. Becoming more adept at vision techniques and constantly planning those escape routes as you ride will go a long way to preventing target fixation from even occurring, as that will help you avoid many hazardous situations in the first place, and it will help you deal with the panic and target fixation that do occur when you find yourself in a tricky situation. Target fixation is a motorcycle 101 concept that riders learn about when getting their license. Although the problem is easy enough to understand, its solution is easier said than done. Target fixation is the human tendency to home into the very thing you wish to avoid. The term was coined during World War II, when pilots sometimes flew into the targets they were strafing. The problem still exists among pilots today. Operators of highly responsive vehicles, such as aircraft and motorcycles, are especially prone to this problem. The key to avoiding target fixation is using it to your advantage. That is, look where you want to go instead of where you don't. When rounding corners, you should look through the corner to where you want to go rather than at the corner. Likewise, look at the pathway around a pothole instead of at the pothole. This is easy enough to follow under normal circumstances. However, even experienced motorcyclists can target fixate when taken by surprise. Sometimes it's a sudden accident occurring in front of the rider, or an unexpected obstacle or pavement problem encountered while rounding a corner. When the unexpected occurs, you only have time to react. This means defaulting to basic instincts. If your instinct is fixating on the scary thing you want to avoid, you will hit it. You must replace this with the correct trained reflexes. This requires the constant practice of looking where you want to go. This will build up the desired reflexes and muscle memory that will get you out of trouble in an emergency. Developing the right response. It's impossible to not notice an obstacle in your way. However, you can train yourself to instantly scan the nearby area for a way around the obstacle. Once you see a way around, focus on that path and execute. For example, upon seeing your biking partner take a fall on the road in front of you, your eyes should reflexively see a path around him, and you should focus on it to the exclusion of your partner. Once you're safely past, you can turn around and render help. You should use this kind of avoidance procedure all the time when encountering a pothole, a water puddle, and the countless other things that require minor evasive maneuvers. The important part is instantly averting your attention away from the obstacle to the path you want to take. When this becomes a habit, you'll be better equipped to handle sudden road emergencies. Note that sometimes you'll encounter multiple obstacles, one following the other. This will demand that your reflexes automatically cope with each as they occur. If another motor vehicle operator injured you in a motorcycle accident, seek the legal services of experienced motorcycle accident lawyers. Contact us at Hogan Injury. One of the hardest things to drive out of your riding is target fixation, where you become so fixated on a course of action, normally avoiding a hazard, that you fix your gaze and therefore direction on that object and promptly headbutt straight into it. Despite a similar number of years riding, Jock has covered way more miles, spent way more time on track, and is way more knowledgeable about tires. He tests them on behalf of manufacturers sometimes. He also knows his suspension setup and pretty much anything to do with riding a bike at progressive speed. He can wipe the floor with my R1 even when he's on a GS. As we sat down for a mid-ride lunch, he was surprised that I'd fallen back a few times when he wasn't expecting it. The reason? I was watching him ride instead of reading the road ahead of him, road that I would be heading into seconds later. Time and time again, I found myself in the wrong position coming into the corner or thinking that I was going to need to stand the bike up. Time and time again, I found myself wondering how he had got round a corner so quickly and stably when I couldn't trust myself to do the same. It took me a few miles of beautiful, but now wasted, curvy bits to realize what was happening. He was a target, and I was fixating on his ride, not mine. As soon as I got back to focusing on my ride, not his, I was able to get back to the cornering speeds, both safe and progressive, that I would normally be capable of. To go quickly, you need to look and ride to the exit point of the corner. Once back in my own ride, that's exactly what I did, and from that moment on it was game on again. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoy this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.